What's increasingly becoming the most important part of any B2B marketing campaign?
Content.
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 Content. Content.
Content.
Content.
Hey there, it's Sonjoy Ganguly again, and we're bringing you back to episode 5 of Adventures in B2B Marketing. And today's episode is all about the power of content. It should go without saying that content is essential for B2B marketers. According to About.com, a whopping 74% of consumers trust brands that provide useful info without trying to sell them something. And what's the best form that useful info can take? In short, it's content. Content marketing is continuing to become an integral part of any marketer's portfolio. Marketo informs us that 70% of executives rely more on content now than they did a year ago. But there's a lot of content out there. 90% of executives feel overwhelmed by the amount of content available today. So it's no wonder that it's hard to get people to download your assets. According to the Content Marketing Institute, only 30% of B2B companies feel their organizations are effective at content marketing. Well, that means that 2/3 of us aren't good at doing our jobs. And on top of that, only 32% have a well-defined content marketing strategy. Content marketing without a strategy is like baking a cake without following a recipe. Without it, you're going to add too much sugar, you're going to leave out the milk, you're going to, forget about the baking powder. And here's 3 things to think about to get your content strategy going. First, define your key performance indicator. What is success? These are your goals. It might be site visits, it might be engagement, but ultimately it's about driving leads and conversions. Know your audience. Define your audience. You have to define your ideal customer profile or your ICP. If you don't know who your audience is, how do you know who you should be reaching? And how do you know if you are reaching them? Writing your editorial statement. I can't say enough about that. This is the litmus test that determines how you're going to create your content. An editorial mission defines who you are as a company, who you're trying to reach, how you're going to reach them, and what you want to accomplish when you do. BuzzFeed's co-founder, Jonah Peretti, says that content is king, but distribution is the queen, and she wears the pants. So how are marketers distributing their content? Primarily, it's search engine optimization. Content marketing is a prime SEO strategy. Google loves content that's actually helpful. And the closer your content comes to answering questions your prospects are asking, the better your results will have in search. But SEO isn't enough. And there are 3 tactics you should be thinking about for content promotion and delivery. Social media, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook are all powerful tools for a B2B marketer. Using a tool like LinkedIn can cast a wide net, but at least you have the ability to define the fish that are in that net. Targeted advertising and content syndication. If you've got deep pools of data that are driving your targeted advertising and content syndication programs, you can get your content in front of the prospects who are actively researching your products. And email's been around a long time, but it's still very successful. And it's still very successful at all stages of the funnel. But relevancy is critical. You have to consider what content you're delivering and make sure that based on your audience profiles, you're delivering the right relevant content and message at that stage of the buyer process. Look, I'm going to be honest, marketers can be egocentric. Often the expectation is both content and marketing collateral are supposed to tell a brand story. They're supposed to break down the benefits of your products and claim your superiority over your competitors. This is absolutely the wrong approach. Content should be about the customer, not you. It should be addressing their issues and their concerns. According to the CMO Council, 78% of prospects believe that organizations providing custom content are more trustable. To succeed, content marketers should not be talking, they should be listening. Well, there's 4 points that I want to give you. One is social media. You're using social media to drive your content, but you should be using it to listen to your prospects. Hashtags, trending topics, blog posts, these are all key to informing your content creation. Search engine optimization. You know the topics that are important to you, but Tools like Google Trends will help you understand the topics that are actually being searched. Site analytics. Your site is a great resource. What are the terms people are using to get to your site? Are they interacting with your site or are they bouncing? Take lessons from your site analytics. And if they're not downloading your white paper, it's time to optimize for new content. So all these other data points that we talked about are critical, but they're only the best guess as to what your prospects are actually interested in. By using intent data, we can pinpoint exactly the topics your users are researching in the market, and then using that information, you can drive your content strategy. And the last point I want to talk about in terms of data points is that you don't want one data source. To be truly effective, you need to look at multiple data sources to build a scalable and effective audience pool that's going to drive your ROI. So that's it for today. Clearly, content is the future. Your audience needs to respond to it, and it's often the best part of your marketing campaigns. It can be smart, it can be savvy, and it also can be fun to make. If I'm going to leave you with one thing from this talk, it's from the motivational sales guru, Zig Ziglar. It's time to stop selling and start helping. Make sure you come back next month for episode 6 in Adventures in B2B Marketing, where we'll talk about how account-based marketing is demanding a change in the metrics we measure. See you there.